Hi, welcome to this week's History with Holly. Again this week, my video has been inspired by Serum by Edward Rutherford. I thought you might actually like to see it. I'll hold it up for you. The reason it's going to take up a lot of videos is because it is huge. Anyway, today I was thinking about Jews. We've reached a chapter in New Serum, which is taking place in the year 1244. And it's talking about the expansion of clothing or fabric manufacturing and how it's just moving from hand looms to mills. And with the pounding of the cloth to get out the extra dirt and to mesh it together, that's going to happen mechanically, by a simple machine. Anyway, but it's talking about the money to get that is coming from a Jewish financier, essentially. And it's given a bit of the history of Jewish finance and how it's impacted the British economy the past few hundred years. And of course, it's been a mixed history of the Jews being accepted in society and then, of course, being discriminated against. And it got me thinking, like, this is a pattern that has happened through all of history, from them only being tenants of the king and being not allowed to own land in the Middle Ages. This is 1244, as I said, all the way through. And I was just looking at the Russian pogroms, because that's the thing I think of most in terms of the 1800s. Obviously, there were hundreds of examples in between these times, but the Russian pogrom came into usage as a term in about 1881, and there were hundreds and hundreds of pogroms in that period up until the 20th century. And then, of course, a number after World War I, particularly during the Polish-Ukrainian War. Sorry, I'm just referring to my notes here. And the Ukraine Civil War. There was 1,500 Jews murdered in 3 days in 1919. Fortunately, their leader, Ian Samosenko, was executed for war crimes afterwards. Anyway, but then, of course, the most well-known one was, of course, the persecution and attempted eradication of the Jews in the Holocaust in the Second World War in Germany and its conquered countries. And, of course, after that, the British Mandate of Israel placed in Palestine, and there's continuing issues between the Israeli Jews and the Palestinian Arabs and Christians there today. But it made me think about, the Jews and the peppered history that they have, and the generations, the hundreds and thousands of years, really, of persecution, and how they're still functioning as a society and a race. I'm not going to express a particular view on the Palestinian issue at the moment, whilst I need the violence needs to stop, and I am definitely on the side of the Palestinian people, but I just said I wasn't going to accept a view, didn't I? Oh well, too bad. Anyway, but everyone needs a home, so there needs to be a solution. But yeah, I guess it made me think about who else is being persecuted right now. The Black Lives Matter movement, big one. It's making us all think about the place of African American people in America, or Indigenous people in Australia, and other countries are thinking about their black populations as well. But the Jews are an example of a civilization that has been persecuted mercilessly, literally, for their religion for hundreds and hundreds of years, and are still functioning. So good on them. But we really need to think about that. Are we participating in systems of violence? Are we participating in systems that persecute people based on their religion, the colour of their skin? Are we actively propping up systems that discriminate against individual groups? And the answer is yes, if you're not quite sure. So worth going and have a look. I'll put my link to the history.com article that I used to quote the facts about the Jewish pogroms in Russia. There's plenty of information on the Holocaust on the internet you can find. Anyway, but that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and look forward to a few more videos about serum, because I'm still only about halfway through. It's epic. Anyway, bye.